Hey there, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. I'm Melissa, and I'm starting with this Woodland Wardens deck, but yeah, the readings leading up to this have kind of been sort of just projecting some sort of impending climax that look to be pretty major. You know, it looked like huge. So anyway, so I figured I'll just keep poking at it and see if I can get any more insight about whatever's about to go down. Okay, oh, it's cool that we got like matching. So we got the quail and gooseberry, which is anticipation, which is funny because I was just talking about there's going to be a big explosion. And we got the weasel and pine, introspection. So this is interesting because the reading that I did yesterday, it was something like, if it keeps on raining, the levee is going to break. I'm going to link it here. And it was talking about, like, it's sort of like, almost like stocking up acorns for the winter. Like, this explosion's going to happen, like, you know it's going to happen, like, it's inevitable, you don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it is going to happen. So, you know, the winter's coming, so you better start stocking up your acorns now, because you'll be ready, you know. So it's kind of like that. Oh, okay, so when I'm just going to pick a couple cards from here, actually. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle, so it kind of gives sort of like a more sort of spiritual perspective on what's going down. And, okay. Wow. Whoa. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we got the Seer. So this is all about sort of tapping into your intuition and listening to the you know, the signs and synchronicities and voices that you are getting, because there's going to be some important information that's going to be coming to you on that channel, so pay attention. And so then we got the drum. So this is interesting because so I'm noticing all these things about this card right now, because, like, so I take care of my mom. She has Alzheimer's, and so I've gotten really into sound healing lately, because I've noticed that, you know, it really helps my mom. And like, I wanted to get the crystal singing bowls, but they're like crazy expensive. So then, like, I got this frame drum, because I'm like, oh, that's only $30. Like, I can play that, you know, like, that'll help my mom, you know, just to have these little rhythms, you know. And I just noticed there's this frame drum in this card. So yeah, and I'm noticing all these things. This deck is really amazing, because it's like, the longer you have it, the more you notice all the stuff that you noticed before. And I noticed there's this like bird that's like, anyways, the drum is all about like there being a natural rhythm for things, and you're, you know, you're gonna be sort of led, you know, follow your intuition, because it's gonna lead you through whatever this change is gonna that's gonna happen. And this card that's following kind of confirms that. It's the Witness, and it's sort of like this card about someone who's like, it's like they've almost already done all the internal work and like sort of like healed themselves, so that they could come into alignment with like a different experience, you know. So it's like they're not like clawing and reaching and trying to control the outcome, you know, in the world. They're like doing the work within themselves and allowing things to unfold in like this sort of natural order, you know. So like, that's what this person has done. So they've just kind of accepted, they're not in control, you know, and they're just kind of flowing with the situation in this sort of state of grace almost. And so it's interesting is then we have the Council. So this kind of speaks to this council of light beings, and like it's almost like the divine council, you know, and that who is in control. So you could, you know, you could like, this is like God or the universe, or, you know, the higher power. But basically that's who's in control, you know, like you're not in control. Like you may want to think that, but like you're not. So like it really speaks to just like, if you've kind of behaved in accordance with the highest good and what's best for everyone, and aligned your journey with that, like you don't really need to worry. Like just tap into your intuition. What you need is going to come to you when you need it. You know, you're going to be in the state of grace and flow, and things are going to unfold accordingly. So the best thing that you can do is, it's kind of like I was saying in the reading from yesterday, like the dam's going to break, you know, the dam's going to break. Like, you know, it's not really in your best interest to like try to prop up the dam, like, because it's sort of inevitable. Like the best thing that you can do is just sort of plan for the inevitability of the dam breaking. And this kind of speaks to this person getting sort of guidance with that planning. Like the squirrel has the instinct, like it knows, you know, it's got to collect all the acorns, and you know, they got to be ready, you know, like the squirrel's getting help, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the light seers. It's interesting because I got the light seers and I got intuitive night goddess. So we got light and day, night. I'm gonna get perspectives on both of those. But yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get a couple cards from each deck and see where we're at with that. But it does kind of look like, wow. Okay, this is not like the message that I was expecting to get, but what, okay, so we got the Queen of Swords. So this is someone who's kind of been run through the ringer, and it's interesting because there's this bird flying over the Queen of Swords. Like she's getting the guidance. Like she's kind of been knocked around. She's got the samurai sword in her hand, you know, like she's not going to take any guff, you know, but like it's good. Like it's like she's gone through all this stuff, and it's kind of made her like assess her priorities and figure out what's important. So she's not going to waste time on stuff that doesn't matter to her anymore. Like she's kind of had to streamline down to like, you know, the fundamentals. So we got the Knight of Cups, we got the Ace of Wands, and we got the Six of Cups. So it's interesting because this Queen of Swords is like facing away from all of this, but because it's like, it's almost like this Queen of Swords has like really gotten run through the ringer, but she doesn't see it coming because it's behind her, but she's got this Knight of Cups. Like to me, this reminds me of Jason Priestley. This Knight of Cups and this Ace of Wands. So like there's this message of love coming in towards, like someone's coming to this Queen of Swords with flowers. Like she doesn't see it, but there's this passionate, fiery new beginning that's on offer for her. And like maybe it's like her tribe of people from the past. It's like she's kind of been through all this stuff. She's kind of worn out. Like she's almost like just kind of protecting herself. So she's not necessarily looking for she's not looking for love, you know, but like, it's almost like her tribe of people have kind of seen like, God, she's really like been beat up here, like, and she doesn't deserve that. Like, maybe we ought to kind of gang up on her and be like, hey, you know, like, come back come back to the tribe. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting. But like, she doesn't necessarily see that this is happening. Like, this is kind of happening behind her back. So, okay, so I'm going to go to the Intuitive Night Goddess. Oh my gosh, this is really interesting. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got the Six of Pentacles. So this is a card of like, kind of reaping what you sow, like things coming into balance. Like, if it's almost like this Queen of Swords. Oh, it's interesting. When I picked that up, oh, wow. This is really interesting. Okay, so when I picked up the Queen of Swords, we got the Six of Swords and we got the Devil. This is really interesting because this card was prominent in yesterday's reading, which I linked at the beginning here. But like this super toxic situation that she's moving away from, which is kind of like what I had assumed, but like that just confirms it. Like, this Queen of Swords is just sort of like, she's kind of taking a break. She's trying to ground herself. She's just like been through it, and she's just like kind of hesitant to get involved with anybody else because she just really got beat up, you know. But like, she didn't necessarily deserve that. So like, I think some good things are going to come to her. But then at the same time, as that happens, like, you know, whoever like beat her up, like, karma's going to come to that party too. So we've got the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Three of Swords. So it's interesting because the Three of Swords fell out right underneath the Queen of Swords. So it's like, yeah, this Queen of Swords is really trying to move away from this heartbreaking, devastating situation that she didn't deserve. And, you know, she just got the crap beat out of her, you know? But some wish is coming to this Queen of Swords, because this falls out right under this passionate new beginning. So it's like somebody's coming to her with this passionate new beginning that's kind of like her wish is coming true. You know, it's almost like the whole glass slipper at the end of Cinderella, you know, the slipper fits. I'm gonna link the Cinderella thread at the end of this video because I was talking about that yesterday coming up too. So this is like, whoa, this is like a pretty wild story. It's just sort of like, it is a little bit more inside because it's just sort of like, yesterday I was talking about how, you know, the dam's gonna break, so you gotta get ready, you know, it's inevitable. And, you know, while you're thinking about that, like this Queen of Swords is like considering all of this. It's interesting because the Council is on top of the Queen of Swords too. So it's just sort of like, this Queen of Swords really deserves like some kind of recompense. And like, it looks like she's gonna get it. So it's almost like she doesn't really need to do anything because everybody's already seen what happened. They've seen what happened to this queen, and it's like this whole community is kind of like coming up behind her with this big surprise because like they're just like, wow, you know, like you just need to like get taken back into the fold of some people who aren't evil, you know, like we just want to help you here. Like, we've seen what happened. Like, it's not right, you know. It's sort of like, I'm trying to think of this example of this happening, like, in, like, larger, it's just like, I'm just trying to think of somebody who like went down and didn't deserve it, and like everyone bands together to like kind of lift them back up. But that's kind of the story that's coming through here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the Starseed Oracle, and we're going to pick a card from here. To end the reading. So it's really interesting because, it's like I'm anticipating this big explosion, but actually, like, that's not really what's coming through on this reading. What's coming through is like, it's like maybe some other people are seeing the big explosion too, and they're trying to swoop up this Queen of Swords before it happens, Okay, so interesting. So we got deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So there's like all this love being bestowed on this Queen of Swords, and we got Breath of the Cosmos. My will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Wow. So it's kind of like, it's almost like this thing is it's just so much bigger than this one person, and like the universe is going to kind of like make it right. Like the universe is about to step in and balance this equation, is what I'm getting. So it's interesting because like the reading yesterday kind of implied this sort of like super destructive, like, I was talking about like this person who had stolen all this money from the whole village, and like their house getting washed away. And so it sounded like super destructive, but this is almost like all the villagers getting new houses built or something, all the people who had been taken advantage of, and it's like being made right. So it's kind of like the other side of the story that was from yesterday. So this is really interesting. I'm going to keep poking at this story because it's a really big shift that's like coming down the pipe, and it's very impactful. Like this is like kind of like the big drama of the year is kind of what I'm getting. So I'll check in soon with more.